All right, today we're doing the mighty porterhouse steak, the king of steaks. We're keeping it simple, hot, and full of flavor, and I'm using my special Dalmatian rub. I'll show you how. Hey, welcome back everyone. This is Greg from Burn Pit BBQ showing you how to do some porterhouse steaks. So the porterhouse actually has two cuts of steaks that you might be familiar with. That long, large cut on the left-hand side is really like a New York steak strip, and then that smaller one on the right-hand side, that's your filet mignon. So you get some nice cuts of meat from this porterhouse steak. And I'm using my Dalmatian rub. It's just some coarse salt, some black pepper, a little bit of white pepper, and then some cayenne pepper. I grind that all up and make it into a finer mix. And I'll post that below, so if you want to give that a shot. It's really great on beef, great on brisket especially. You don't have to grind it up. You can leave it coarse, but I like to give it a nice even coating on whatever I'm using. So, and today we're firing up the Weber. Got the good charcoal brand charcoal, and again, I like this brand because it doesn't take long, especially for those hot and fast cooks. So today I'm looking for a very quick cook. I'm not gonna be doing anything crazy here, so it won't take long to get this grill up to temperature. I'm looking for a surface temp around 500. That way I'll get a nice sear on it, and it won't take long for us to get an internal temperature of about 130 to 135 for medium rare. Now I like to clean off my grill grates after I get it on there, and I'll let it heat up then for a little bit, and then when I come back out there I'll clean it again. I know that some people don't like using the wire brushes. I mean, there's the fear out there that you could potentially swallow a piece of that wire, part of the brush. I've never had an issue in over 10 years. I do get the spiral ones though. Some of those ones where it's just a straight bristle might come off, especially if you get a cheap one. So you'll want to invest in a nice heavy duty scraper brush, and they definitely have some newer ones out there like the Grill Brush or the Scrub Daddy. Those ones are kind of more cloth based. But here I'm just throwing on a couple wood chips because why not? So some Jack Daniel's wood chips there, spraying it down with some high temperature cooking spray. I don't do that all the time. Sometimes I'll just use some olive oil and use like a paper towel. But I'm putting these porterhouses directly over the coals. It's about 500 degrees at the grate level there. So I'm gonna get a nice sear on these, and I'm gonna leave the lid off today. Like I said, I want a quick cook, so I'm not gonna be covering them. I want that high heat, but that means I gotta stay by it because I don't want these to burn, because you'll get some flare-ups there, as you can start to see. And I'm actually putting some sirloin steaks on there as well. I got some larger sirloins that I'm gonna be doing too, but my main focus of today's video were those porterhouses there. So you want to make sure you keep an eye on them. And as you can see right there, right next to the coals, right over there. And after about maybe 30 seconds, you can do like a 90-degree rotation where you get some nice cross hatches on there. There's a grill tip for you. But as you can see, they're cooking down here. I'm looking for an internal temperature of 130 to 135. Medium rare is what I like my steaks to go for. So if you want, I'll put a temperature guide below in the comments there that will help you determine whatever temperatures you need for the type of cook that you're looking for, especially for beef there. And this is going to be a really quick cook. It shouldn't take long to get those porterhouses up to temperature. Those are looking pretty good. As you can see, I rotated them about 90 degrees. I'll get a nice cross hatch on there. You don't have to do it. It just looks a little bit better. You get a little bit more of that steakhouse quality look to it, especially if you're trying to impress somebody. Although we're not here to impress, we're just here to make good, delicious food. So as you can see, I flipped them once already, and I did it the same on the other side. After about 30 seconds, you rotate them 90 degrees to get a nice crosshatch on there. I got my instant, my ThermoPen there. I think it's a ThermoPro. Hasn't let me down yet. So I pulled these off about 130 because I know they're going to continue to cook a little bit after I take them off. And I like my steaks medium rare. Once those are done, I'm moving those sirloins over. But again, main focus today was those porterhouses. As you can see there, going to be slicing in there. I'm looking for a nice pink center. Now you can cook it however you want. What I really like about this rub is that it's got a nice kind of salty flavor to it. Some people don't like that. I think it gives it a nice crust to it as well. It's nice and fine. And this was a perfect cook. Pull apart, super flavorful. You get the char on it from the charcoal. You get the rub that adds a little bit of flavor, but really the meat is the star of the show, and that's how it should be. I hope you're enjoying the videos. If you are, check out these other ones here. Subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.